And when I say a show that literally is all about sex, oh, I mean, it's all about sex. Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back. Yes, my dears, I am the Philadelphia Whovian, and once again, we're going to another side of the entertainment industry to discuss something wholly different than my normal subject matter, and that is the TV show Coupling, written and created by Steven Moffat. Okay guys, and I should clarify, before I begin this video, I wish for you to all know, if you have not seen my channel before, yes guys, I am one of those degenerate YouTubers who sits in front of the camera and just talks your ear off. That's all I do. There's no sliding images, there's no great opening sequence, just my face. And I know, it's not much to go on. But guys, try and sit through this video anyway. We'll have a fun time. Just really buckle up and enjoy yourselves. Okay, so yes, back to the TV show Coupling, written by Steven Moffat. Coupling is a BBC television show, I believe, starring Jack Davenport as Steve, Sarah Alexander as Susan, Ben Miles as Patrick, Gina Bellman as Jane, Richard Coyle as Jeff, and Kate Isaac as Sally. Correct me if I'm wrong about those names. But guys, I'm doing this from memory, okay? I'm trying my best here. And again, show created by and written by Steven Moffat. So what is Coupling about? It's about three sets of individuals. It's about three men and three women in Britain and their sexual escapades or their romantic adventures. So what their characters are like. You've got Jack Davenport. I call him the straight man. He's like the more traditional straight male character. When I say straight, I don't mean orientation. Though he is straight. He is straight, actually. But he's like the more like, the serious, typical, the guy in this normal guy in the set of characters who the more eccentric characters are all kind of, revolving around. And then you've got Susan, played by Sarah Alexander, who's, again, also the relatively, regular girl. She's very good, played by a great actress. Like Jack Davenport is a great actor. She's a great actress, but she's playing more so the voice of reason amongst the rest of her friends who are more eccentric and just out there. Okay, then we got Ben Miles as Patrick. Patrick is the guy who, he's like a donkey in a sense that, well, there's no way of putting it. He's the guy who's known for not having much going on up here mentally, but he's big down there. Big down there. So big that even men can't help but marvel at it. Yes. Okay, and then we got Gina Bellman, who is Jane, who is just this, oh my god, off-the-wall, kooky character of a person. Steve and Jane, it starts out with Steve and Jane, still technically in a relationship, but Steve has been trying to break up with Jane repeatedly, but she keeps not getting it, to the point where he even says to her, okay, I'm breaking up with you, and she says back, well, do I get a say in this? And he said, no. He said, well, she's like, fine, then I don't accept it. I don't accept it at all. And there's even one time where she's thinking of entertaining a relationship with a gay guy, and the gay guy keeps on saying to her, Jane, I'm gay. And she says, well, it's perfectly fine. I'm bi. And he's like, that doesn't make any sense. And she's like, what are you talking about, silly? We can work on your issues. I'm like, wow, Jane. Wow. And there's another time where she brings her psychiatrist to a dinner party, and it gets mistaken, where people assume that they are lesbian lovers, because Jane swings both ways. Well, oh gosh. Gosh. Okay. Jane claims to be a vegetarian, despite the fact that she eats meat all the darn time. And her shrink even turns to her and says, vegetarians don't eat meat, you dumb bitch. Oh, God, I love it. Like, the shrink, she's pushed her shrink to the furthest brink of emotion she possibly could. And that dinner party spends the whole time where you got the characters are thinking that Jane and the psychiatrist are lesbian lovers, and the shrink all the time thinks she's a psychiatrist. They have no idea they think she's a lesbian. And so Patrick ends the episode finally going to bed with this psychiatrist, and he looks around like, yeah, I'm so awesome, I converted one of them. Yeah. By the way, he also has a sex room, of all of his videotapes where he taped all of his sexual escapades. Yeah, that's Patrick. And then you've got Richard Coyle playing Jeff. Jeff is the kooky, side character who really is the funniest element of the males. Again, he's friends to Jack Davenport, but he's the one who gets like kind of nervous when a woman is too sexual, but he also really loves women at the same time. He gets nervous around them, but he has like the funniest lines. Again, he's the side character who you root for the most because he's just so adorable. Truth is, I have a crush on his character the most. I think Richard Coyle is adorable, and I can say that because I'm never going to meet Richard Coyle. Yay! So I can talk about how sexy he is because, hey, I'm never going to see his ass. I like it like that. Tip off. And then we get Sally, played by Kate Isaac. Okay, like all the other actors in this, she's a very good actress. And Sally is the one who is obsessed with looking young and beautiful for as long as she can. And having some very, sometimes puritanical standards on things. But there's one time where they go to a funeral. And it's Jane's aunt died, but Jane wants Steve to go with her, even though they are ex-boyfriend and ex-girlfriend at this point, and Steve is dating Susan, who's like, the creme de la creme of a woman to get. Susan's like the ultimate woman. She's gorgeous, she's smart and intelligent, she's everything you could want for in a woman. Also, she's sexually adventurous, and she's not afraid to be so. I like women like that. It's like, yeah. In her first episode, she ends up forcing to show her boob to all of them because for some reason they want to see her boob. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't end there when it comes to her being exposed to all of them. But Sally is her friend who also gives her facials, and she's all about, moisturizing herself and, using creams and all that to make herself look young and beautiful. One time at the funeral they go to, which is Jane's funeral, where they kind of don't know who's going with who, because it's all a clustercuss of a mess with them. Well, that's the cute moment where all three of the men act like they're in Reservoir Dogs because they're wearing suits. So they literally do the whole Reservoir Dogs shot, and that's a great moment. And Sally goes there, and there's a super old woman who says, "You look just like me when I was 40. And, of course, Sally just loses her mind. She's like, that's a mean thing to say, mean thing to say. And, of course, initially the woman did not mean it in a negative way. She was just so happy to meet a woman who looked like her when she was younger. But, of course, Sally mistakes this of, wait a minute, I'm going to look like you? Oh, no, my God. But the woman just digs it into her even more of how, hey, you are going to look like me eventually, but also, you look like me when I'm older than what you are now. Bam, bitch! It's a fun time. Again, it's a show all about just sex or sexual innuendos, implications, etc. and so forth. It's very funny. This is to me Stephen Moffat at some of his best. Moffat, I said before, I'll say it again. Even when I don't agree with certain things Moffat does, I will never deny that Moffat is a damn good writer. And he's actually doesn't really seem like he's a bad person either. I mean, yes, when it comes to Doctor Who, there are certain choices he could have made that I thought would have been better to make than what he did make. But it doesn't stop the fact that Moffat is still a very good writer, and Coupling is proof of that. Also, Coupling is evidence of when Moffat is allowed to do his own thing, because that's the thing about Moffat. He's not always given the right to, do things his own way, but in Coupling, because he created the show, and he did it all by himself, literally wrote for the show, and again, created it, he had more creative control over what he was doing. And as a result, this is a person who's in control over his writing. And when we writers are in control of our writing, it just makes for a much better viewership, and much better viewing, and much better production value, because we're in control of what we're doing. And that happens better than most. So yes, guys, this is my video on Coupling. Have you seen Coupling? Have you not? Either way, let me know in the comment section. But if you want a TV show that's just good old-fashioned fun, it can be a little raunchy, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm an American. This show is perfectly for you. The cast is wonderful, the writing is wonderful, it's shot very well, great directors, etc. and so forth. So, I would recommend it if you like romantic comedies of this fashion. If you don't, of course it's not going to be your thing. It's all down to you. So either way, guys, thank you so much for watching, and this is my review of the TV show, Coupling. Guys, I'll see you again soon with something completely different. Bye, guys.